We are on page 126 on top, 236 at the bottom. Okay. We're going to start 9 lines to the end of the page at the, as they call them in yeshiva language, the 2 dots. Okay, so you have like this. Until now, Dr. Rebbe is explaining there's 2 levels of love. Okay, both are inheritance. There's one level of love that he was speaking, nafshi ivisicha balayla, meaning nafshi, it's not redundant. Nafshi, God, because you are my life, therefore ivisicha, therefore I desire you. That's one level of love. Then there's another level of love, like a child that loves the parents more than he loves himself, which is even a greater level of Ava. Not I'm loving Hashem because he is me. I love Hashem more than I love me, because like a son who's going for his father, after his father. So he says, even though, and the simcha of that is, the joy by Hashem, he says, is like a child that went into prison and got out of prison, and you can imagine the simcha, the joy of the king, that he is so excited from the fact that the kid got out of prison. And he says, this is enough to bring it out, to learn Torah, and to do mitzvahs, and that's how you reveal this love. So he says like this, being a base, 9 lines from the end of the page, 126 on top, 236 at the bottom. Being a base, these 2 levels of love, nafshi, like myself, and like a child more than myself, even though these 2 levels, as he explained, are inheritance that Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov gave over to every single Jew. It's like an innate nature that a person is born with. You're born a Jew, or you convert halachically, and you become a Jew. Then that you have that innately. The same thing, fear, which is composed in the love. That he's afraid to separate from the source of our life, from our true Father. So even though these are natural, instinctive loves, he says, became they are not considered or called natural love of fear, only only when they're in his mind and his thought, and the depth of the heart. Then that is in the world of Yetzirah. I'll explain in a second what this means. And to that level, the Torah mitzvah is elevated. That comes machamasim of the sibasim, meaning like this: a Jew does Torah mitzvah. Let's put it this way: there are 4 worlds. We learned this concept before. When you have the mitzvahs in the world of action, action mitzvahs are down here in this world, an action world. When you have kavanah, it makes the mitzvah fly up. Some mitzvahs fly up to the world of Yetzirah, which is the second lowest world. Greater levels go up to certain unique tzaddikim levels go all the way up to Atzilus. Now, instinctive love, but it's all natural. He's not thinking about it. He's not revealing it. It's just there. And because of that, he does Torah mitzvahs. He goes to shul. He davens. He lights Shabbos candles. He does whatever needs to be done. But there's no open felt love or fear at all. No meditation. It's just instinctive nature. Like you're driving the car naturally. You don't even think what you're doing. It's there, and that's why you're doing mitzvahs. So this Torah mitzvahs is only elevated to the world of Yetzirah. Asiya is the action world where we're doing the mitzvahs, but we have the wings, the love and the fear, to make it go high. So how high does it go? So the Alter Rebbe is saying over here, when you have a natural instinctive level just in your mind, you're not bringing it out into the heart, there's no sense of it whatsoever, it's going to the level of Yetzirah. But change. When they become revealed in the heart, now you still the I'm sorry, Shem is Gauss, Nikru Ru'usa the Liba B'Zayr. In the Zayr, it's called Ru'usa the Liba, means the heart's desire. That means it's not only mental that I'm just doing it, but I feel it a little bit. It's called the desire of the heart. I want to do it. Then then it moves up to a higher world, the 10 attribute into the world of Bria, which is much higher and more godly. Ulasham, and to that level, it elevates to the world of Bria, mitzvahs, the term mitzvahs that comes because of them. I'm going to read a few more lines and I'm going to elaborate on this to explain it. Because taking out of the concealment of the heart, that is there just by nature. El Bechinas Gilui, how do you reveal it that you feel a little bit of the heart, of the mitzvah? You feel a little bit of godliness. Is through das, through the level of das, and ingrading, is planting the level of the revelation of meditation, from the depth of the heart, yativ etodir, more and more common in Ein Sof Baruch Hu, Eichu Chayenu Mamish, the way Hashem is our life, Lavinu Amiti. Okay, I'm going to explain it now. If it's totally in the concealment of the heart and in the mind, yeah, it goes up. Because this love is instinctively there. So it goes up to the world of Yetzirah. So let's say you do a mitzvah with no feeling whatsoever. I do it because I do it. That doesn't, it goes up to Yetzirah. It goes up. It doesn't stay in the world of Asiyah. It goes up to the world of Yetzirah. But when you bring it out into a feeling of the heart, that is, how do you get it feeling? How do you reveal it? That's through a type of meditation, a type of thinking and understanding. Now let's go off. I'm going to divert a minute and to understand what this means. There's 4 worlds going from the lower to the higher. There's Asiya, Yetzirah, Bria, Atzilus. Okay? Or as it's known in Kabbalah and Chassidus, Abiyah, Atzilus, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya. They correspond with the 4 letters of Hashem's name. Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei. Yud is the world of Atzilus. Hey is the world of Bria. Vav is the level of Yetzirah. And the second Hey, that's the world of Asiya. Okay? Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei. By the way, most things in Torah correspond with those 4 worlds. The 4 sons and Pesach, the 4 cups of wine. A lot of things that have 4 correspond with the 4 letters of Hashem's name, 4 letters, 4 worlds. So generally speaking, in Chassidus and Kabbalah, it says like this. Yud is connected to Atzilus, Hey to Bria, Vav to Yetzirah, and Hey to Asiya. Now, Yud, Zohar says the expression, Yud shines in Atzilus. Now, one thing I didn't say yet, Yud Kei Vav Kei includes all 10 attributes. What does that mean? Yud is the level of Chochmah. Hey is the level of Bina. Vav is the 6 Midas, 6 Vav. And the last Hey is the level of Malchus. Das is included either in Tiferes, whatever. Das is part of the concoction, but it's not mentioned. So Yod is Chochma, Hey is Bina, Vav is the 6 spheres, and Hey is Malchus. Now, we learned already before in Tanya, Yud, Chochma, is a level of Bittul. Chochma is 2 words, Koach, Ma, a power, what is, of nothingness. Moshe Rabbeinu says in Chumash, V'nachnu ma, what are we? We're nothing. What does Yud symbolize? Yud is a dot. That's what the letter Yud is, a little dot, the smallest of all letters. That represents Chochma, because even in Chochma, when you have an understanding, sometimes you're walking in the street and you get a brainstorm, something that flash in the head. You don't know what it is. There's no meaning to it yet. It's like a lightning flash. That is what Chochma is. Nothing there. There's no tangible thing yet. When you take this Yud and you bring it into Bina, which is the Hey of Hashem's name, Bina, so then you broaden it. So as the Alter Rebbe explained in the 3rd parak of Tanya, Yud is the masculine, Hey is the feminine. Everything we learned in the world is giver, receiver, because in Kedusha, everything is giver and receiver. Everything in the world is male and female. Male is the giver of the seed, the woman receives the seed. That's where we learned many times. In Hebrew grammar, Yud is masculine. A word that ends with a Yud is masculine. A word that ends with a Hey is feminine. Okay? Just look at the word itself. Ish is Aleph Yud Shin. Isha, Aleph Shin Hey. Just in their names, male has the Yud, female has the Hey. In childbearing, the man gives the seed, which is called in Torah tipa, a drop, and the woman broadens it to 9 months of pregnancy. So Yud is Chochma, Hey is Bina. Now, what happens when you have a father and a mother, the male and the female, and there's a unity between father and mother, so then you give birth to children. You give birth, what's the minimal halachic requirement? Ideally, a son and a daughter. Vav is the male son, the 6 fetus. That's why what is a Vav? Vav in the Hebrew letter is you take a Yud and just extend it downward. It becomes a Vav. So the offshoot of a Yud, which is masculine, is Vav, which is also masculine. The Hey of Yud K, the Hey, the 2nd letter of Hashem's name, coming down becomes the daughter, which is also the letter Hey. Mother and daughter. So it says in Zohar that in the world of Atzilus shines the letter Yud of Hashem's name, which is a level of Chachma. In Bria, which is the 2nd next world, shines the level of Bina, which is this Hey of Hashem's name. In the 3rd world, Yetzirah, shines the Vav of Hashem's name, meaning the Midas. Attributes, love, fear, whatever it is. And the last world is the Hey, which is the level of Asiyah. So Hashem's name is actually connected to each one of the 4 worlds. The Yud is connected to Atzilus. The Hey is connected to Bria. Vav is connected to Yetzirah. And Hey is connected to Asiyah, to the slow world. Now, the world of Atzilus is a world what's called Bittul. Which means the lights of Atzilus, the vessels of Atzilus, it's all one with Hashem. There's no tangible world yet. It's as the Alter Rebbe explains in Torah Od, what it is Chochma of Atzilus means that is the source that Chochma in Bria should become existent. But it's not tangible Chochma. It's not tangible Bina in Atzilus. It's all Elukus. That's why Atzilus comes from the word Eitzel. Eitzel means it's near, it's close. It's a godly world. Bria begins what we said many times. Bara, in Hebrew, the Ramban says, means yesh mi'ayin, something from nothing. Yes, it's a spiritual world, but it's still a world that doesn't have the same bittul that the world of Atzilus has. Why is that? Because in Atzilus is shining the letter Yud of Hashem's name, meaning what is being felt in the world of Atzilus? Bittul, humility. Only God exists. Nothing else, no worlds, nothing. Hashem exists. Hey, that we said before, is a level of bina, understanding, not bittul. It's there's no length and width to it. There's no the vav, which represents the midas. The midas shine in the world of Yitzir. So the Alter Rebbe is saying like this: when somebody does a mitzvah and there's no felt love, it's just a natural, instinctive love. I do it, yeah. You go to shul, you don't love anything, you don't want to do it, you don't think about God. You do it because you do it. Yeah, you're doing a mitzvah, as long as you know you're doing a mitzvah. But when it's done with feeling of the heart, that comes to be feeling it. Meditation, feeling it a little bit. That already is a that I'm doing the mitzvah because I actually feel Hashem, because I meditated a little bit into the greatness of Hashem, and I'm the actual instinctive love and fear that I have. Not like the first level, I'm not revealing it. It's just there and I'm doing the mitzvah. But here I'm actually thinking a little bit, and I'm meditating a little bit, and I'm getting into that mitzvah. Anybody hear me? Talk, talk, talk.
We
Yeah,
hear
you
you.
dropped off and you're back
I
now.
hear you. Now you're back.
Back on?
You're good
We
now.
hear you. We hear you.
So now, okay, thank you. So now, when a person reveals that meditated level a little bit, arousing this feeling, that's the world of Bina. That's the world of Bria. Therefore, the level of mitzvah is now flying up to the world of Bria. To reach the world of Atzilus, he said before, that's the level of a tzaddikim gemurim that are completely nullified. They're Merkava, like Avraham Avinu, Avi Yitzchok, and Yaakov. Are people hearing me? Somebody wrote they're having a problem listening. You hear?
We hear you now clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, thank you. So when a person, a tzaddik, who has complete bittul to Hashem, and their mitzvahs go up tatzilus, but that's not, we shouldn't worry about that. We're not there. We're not getting there. However, we get into Bria. But this is why the Alter Rebbe is saying that when you have awakening of this love and fear of Hashem, to a little
You were being cut off.
We can't hear you now.
meditation, so
Rabbi,
then it doesn't
repeat it.
go up to the
I wonder if it's my Wi-Fi.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, but it goes in and
now it's
out.
clear. Now it's clear.
No, it's cutting
Your
in and out.
your connection is
Yeah,
your
my friend
connection
had-
is shaky.
Donna had to get off because she didn't have a connection.
It's not our connection. The rabbi is having some internet intermittence.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Next, good. So what do I do?
We'll keep talking. Yeah,
genius
I mean, it's just it's intermittently.
Now you're clear. Go ahead.
Freezing on and off.
I mean,
Yeah,
every
but
so
the
often,
recording
yeah,
will be good.
it like freezes.
Oh,
You're okay now. You're okay now.
anyway.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens. So he says, because the going out from the concealed reveal, by ingraining the thing with strong powers, and a great meditation, from the depth of the heart, into the greatness of Hashem. We realize Hashem is our heart, our life. And he's a real father, meaning we are one with Hashem. And in Medazes, like we just mentioned before, it's known, but it says in Tikkun Zayar, Ki Elam Abriya, in the world of Briya, Mekanana shines, Taman there, Ema Ilah, the level of Bina of Atzilis, she is Beninus Ba'arin Sof, which is the meditation into the greatness of Hashem, Chaya Chayim Baruch Hu, the life of Hashem. Kamaimer Eliyo, like Eliyo says in Pasuk Eliyo, Bina Liba, Bina is the heart, Uboalig Mavin, and with it the heart understands. Meaning like this, we mentioned we were in the middle of talking about it. Bria is a spiritual world, it's a godly world, but it's not a world of complete bittul like Atzilus says. Atzilus is a world which is completely bottled to Hashem. If it's completely bottled to Hashem, all that you feel in Atzilus is godliness. Bria, as the expression in Kabbalah and Chassidus is, it's the primary is mostly good and a little evil. What's the level of evil in the world of Bria? In the world of Bria, the level of, like, what's nothing there? It's a spark. There's nothing. It's complete bittul. It's complete bittul. Once you get into understanding, then you are somebody who understands. If you are somebody who understands, that is an existence. So yes, it's a spiritual world, it's a holy world, but nevertheless, it's still a world that comes to meditation. The meditation is not bittul. You know what bittul is? You do a mitzvah because Hashem said so. That's chachma. Bittul means Kabbalah's the yoke of Hashem. I do it because Hashem told me to do it, I do it. There is no me, there's no understanding. It doesn't make sense. It does make sense. It's all the same. I do it because this is what Hashem wants. Tzaddikim, the patriarchs, tzaddikim, rebbes, and all that, their level of elokus is atzilus. What does it mean the level of elokus is atzilus? Their level down here in this physical world is what it says. Down here in the physical world, they are completely subservient to Hashem in such a way that down here they are the world of Atzilus. All our neshamas originate in Atzilus, but when they come down into the various worlds, they get affected along the way. So there are the neshamas of Atzilus, which are the neshamas of the holy tzaddikim. There are the neshamas of Bria, which are also very lofty in the neshamas. There's the neshamas of Yetzirah. There's the neshamas of Asiyah. What is the difference in those levels? How much bittul, how much nothingness and subservience is there to that level of elokus? Atzilus is complete bittul. What Hashem wants is what they do. There is no I, me, want, don't want, desire, don't desire. That level of bittul is they do it because Hashem said so. And this explains a very strange Zohar. The pasuk in Parshat Baloischa says, "Umeisha anav ma'ed mikol adam asher pnei adam." Moshe was the most humble person that lived on the face of the earth. So the Zohar says, what is this pasuk referring to? When Moshe Rabbeinu saw the generation right before the coming of Mashiach, our generation, Moshe Rabbeinu felt inferior. He felt inferior. Why did he feel inferior to our generation? Moshe Rabbeinu. The answer is because Moshe Rabbeinu saw godliness, felt godliness, understood godliness. So of course he was connected to Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu looks at the generation in the darkest period of history in the Jewish people. No miracles. We don't see anything. We don't understand anything. And yet, they're doing Torah mitzvahs because Hashem said so. That's a very great level of bittul. Even Moshe Rabbeinu didn't feel he would have that level of bittul. Moshe Rabbeinu saw godliness. He spoke to him. He got the Torah. He saw miracles. He saw Mitzrayim. He saw Matan Torah. He saw all the miracles. The Mon. He saw all the miracles. What's a greater level than that is bittul of Kabbalah Seh. That's the level of Chachma. But he's not talking about this level here. He's talking if somebody does a mitzvah because this natural instinctive level of love to Hashem is there. I don't feel it. I don't know it. I'm not interested in revealing it. I do it because that's what I'm supposed to do. That goes up to Yitzhak. You do a little bit of meditation. You bring down Bina. You bring down his baininess. You bring down. So then what happens? Then you be elevated to the world of Bria. Why Bria? Because Bria is the world of Bina, the world of understanding. Then you can even do it higher, told the Kabbalah said. And then, okay, it's later. I'm just good. So the Alter Rebbe then continues and says, these two avas that we're just talking about, realistically speaking, is the level of Ava Rabba. Remember, we learned Ava Selam is a love that comes from meditation, if world. Ava Rabba, we learned before, is a level of love that comes as a gift from above. Now, the Rebbe says these two levels of Ava, Nafshi, that God is my life, or Hashem, I love him more than I love myself. The concept of a child are also gifts from above that every Jew has. So every Jew has these lofty levels of godliness within them that are unbelievably great.